Now, with an extremely specialized background like aerospace engineering, you probably have a good future in NASA or someplace like that.
What is the future of aerospace in our country?
You have shown in your extracurricular activities, fantasy league. Is it not gambling?
Please come.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Prateek Singh,
Yes, sir.
take a seat, Prateek.
Thank you, sir.
For the benefit of the panel, can you just give a brief introduction?
Sir, my name is Prateek Singh. I was born in Sirsa in Haryana. I completed my schooling from Jaipur, and thereafter I pursued aerospace engineering from IIT Kanpur. I graduated in 2019, and since then I've been preparing for the civil services.
Now, with an extremely specialized background like aerospace engineering,
Yeah.
you probably have a good future in NASA or someplace like that.
Probably, yes, sir.
So, what impels you to go for the civil services?
The civil services has been something that I have been wanting to do since a young age. Sir, however, at that juncture, sir, I also wanted to pursue my interest in aerospace engineering. I used to have a keen interest in science and aerospace sector specifically. So during my college education, sir, I did participate in certain research uh, projects, but sir, I did not find them suitable enough for me to pursue as a career. Sir, civil services, I believe, offers me a more diversity to work and it attracts me.
Right. Now, tell me something about space tourism. It was in the news for a variety of reasons.
Yes, sir. So recently, certain private companies have taken up the initiative to breach the space sector in terms of tourism. Sir, in space tourism, what happens is primarily we go to the lower Earth orbits or just above the atmosphere where the atmosphere is very rare, and it grants people the opportunity to experience a zero gravity environment.
But there's been a lot of criticism also.
Yes,
I think it was Prince William who said that, it's a rich man's fad or something which can only be supported by enormous amounts of riches if you have. So, in that sense, it's also a blow against equality.
but it does take up considerable resources. However, sir, I believe that a lot of science can be progressed through initiatives like these. Sir, previously, space research has been crucial in developing other technologies for use by the common man also.
Right. Now, you took up anthro as your anthropology, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me something about PTGs? They've now become PVTGs. What are we talking about?
Sir, the earlier nomenclature, primitive tribal groups, sir, has been changed to particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Sir, one of the reasons is that it has been done is that the earlier nomenclature carried certain negative connotations, and the current nomenclature it reflects what their socio-economic conditions are primarily.
So, there are usually four characteristics which we associate with PVTGs. Can you list them out for me?
Sir, one of them is isolation from the community at large. Sir,
No, we are going by the Heber committee characteristics. That is
Right.
not one which is associated with PVTGs. Specific to PVTGs, are you aware?
sir, I cannot recall at the moment.
Okay. Vandan Yojana. What is this Yojana?
Sir, this Yojana aims to create economic benefit for the tribal produce, the forest produce that the tribals are primarily invested in. They can market it.
Forest produce. You mean timber?
So not timber.
What exactly then? Minor forest produce.
Yes, sir, minor forest produce.
Can you give me some examples?
Uh,
Minor forest produce.
so there are certain herbs, and I'm not exactly aware of the exact.
Okay. Anyhow, so continue with the Vandhan Yojana.
So the government aims to support the tribal groups to help in marketing and selling these products to improve their economic conditions.
And which is the agency which has been given this responsibility?
The TriFed,
Can you give me the full form?
I cannot recall that.
Okay. My final question. You see, there is a way of thinking, and it was articulated by Samuel Huntington, who's an American economist, that corruption is actually a lubricant to oil the wheels of government. That is, in essence, what he felt and what he articulated. What is your take on this? How would you respond to this articulation?
Sir, while I understand why this articulation might have been made, but I do not believe that this to be entirely true. So there are countries, there are examples where they have functioned in a very smooth manner, but without corruption at its core. So we can observe that yes, corruption can uh, generate efficiency in functioning. However, it comes at a very large negative cost, which in the long term, in the long run, can prove more disastrous for any country.
Thank you, Prateek.
Prateek, how long you have been staying in East Kedwai Nagar?
There for the past 1 year.
1 year. So it is after the development, redevelopment.
Yes.
Rather. So what is your view about the redevelopment?
Sir, the redevelopment, in my personal view, is a good step. So earlier, the flats were not sufficient to uh, completely house the what was the governmental requirement. So now there have been several new additions, more capacity has been generated, and in fact, it has been done in a sustainable manner. Green spaces have been provided, more spaces for the people to enjoy have been provided additionally.
But there is no open space left like earlier times. There used to be a park in front of every block earlier.
So there,
I have stayed myself in East Kedwai Nagar in its
There-
earlier avatar.
I'm not aware of the earlier avatar, but currently there exists a significantly large park in the middle of the society and in the middle of each flat complex as well. So there are open spaces
So
and
you
green.
approve of the development.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your father is an additional CPFC.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what are the provident fund rules? How many employees will attract the provident fund?
Sir, currently, so the total number of employees there is around 22 crores, if I can remember
22
correctly.
crores.
Sir, I might be mistaken about it.
Say, I asked a company how many employees, minimum employees it should have to attract the rules of provident
Sir,
fund.
20.
20.
Yes, sir.
You did your aerospace engineering from IIT Kanpur.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the future of aerospace in our country? Forget about NASA and things like that.
Sir, in the aviation sector, sir, we are the currently third largest aviation market in the world, and sir, uh, we the current passenger traffic is somewhere upwards of 148 million passengers per year. Sir, additionally, in the space sector, sir, ISRO has been doing a lot of good work. Sir, we have been launching satellites at efficient costs for private companies as well. Sir, additionally, sir, new private ventures have come up in the space sector. Recently, the first private rocket launch took place, and sir, in collaboration with the defense sector, sir, we are developing new technologies for greater indigenization of our aerospace requirements.
So now aviation is totally privatized.
Yes, sir.
Should space also be totally privatized or?
So as per the current system, sir, the ISRO is acting as a guiding light for the private sector. And sir, I believe that it is the right approach. Sir, the private sector currently needs significant economic infusion as well as guidance from experience of the ISRO. Sir, I believe the current system is very much suited to our future.
Okay. You are from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard a concept called National Capital Region?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
The National Capital Region consists of the districts around Delhi. Sir, it is being set up for greater economic integration of this region to generate economies of scale uh, through increased transportation networks, etc.
What else? Integrated planning,
Yes, sir.
dispersal of
With
population,
across the
industries,
region. Yes, sir.
offices. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So has it been successful so far? This concept.
So it has been significantly successful as well as it is, I would say, still underway to what can be termed as a success. Sir, Delhi currently holds a lot of load in terms of population and location of industries as well. Sir, these are gradually shifting and branching outwards. With upcoming ventures like RRTS, we hope to increase uh, the integration of the region.
Okay. And this is your third attempt and second interview.
Yes, sir.
How did you fare in the first?
Sir, it was okay, I would say. So I could have done it.
What was the
151.
score?
150.
Should improve.
Yes, sir.
You have shown in your extracurricular activities fantasy league.
Yes, sir.
What is fantasy league?
So, I play Fantasy Premier League. So, it is an online platform wherein we are given a significant imaginary resource base. We have to select a team of 15 players, and according to how they perform in the real world, we are given points.
Is it not gambling?
So, there is no financial component involved in this.
No financial component.
No, sir.
Otherwise, many leagues have the financial component also.
So, there are leagues with financial components, but I do not play them.
Okay. See, recently Air India has placed a huge order of planes.
Yes.
How many planes were
So,
ordered?
470 planes with an additional 370 option for an additional 370.
And see, there is a popular route of buying the plane on lease.
Yes,
Get the plane on lease. Why they have chosen the route of outright purchase instead of getting it on lease?
Sir, there are three finance mechanisms for their buying of the planes. Sir, some of the planes they will be buying outright, and sir, I believe most of the planes they will be selling to lease them back again. Sir, in aviation, what the most crucial component is cash flow, and sir, this mechanism buying of plane and selling it to lease it back again from the financiers, sir, it offers the airline companies significant cash flow to continue their operations.
What is the dry lease and what is wet lease?
Sir, I'm not aware of.
It's used in this
Yes, sir.
space only. See, Air India is buying 700 planes. Indigo is buying, even Go Air and other airlines are also
Right, sir.
buying, and about 2,000 planes
Yes,
are
sir.
in pipeline for order. Where is the infrastructure? If you go to Delhi airport, it's a chaos. In any peak hour, you have to wait for half an hour at the gate and then maybe 1 or 2 hours in the queues. Where is the infrastructure to handle that much load?
Sir, under the UDAN scheme, sir, development of more than 100 airports has taken place recently in the country. Sir, additional airports are being granted permission to enhance their operations, as well as sir, new airports are being constructed. For example, recently there was the proposal for a new airport in Noida to manage the load that is coming into the
Don't you
Delhi.
think the process is still very slow? Because Delhi may need, by the time Noida airports will be ready, you may need a third airport, and no planning is there as of now.
There are a lot of routes in India are still underdeveloped when it comes to air traffic. So there is potential to explore these routes more.
Okay. See, what is the size of India's economy?
Sir, it is around $3 trillion.
And size of China's economy?
Sir, around 12 to $13 trillion.
It is more than that, about 20 trillion something. So see, China and India opened up almost at the same time, early 80s.
Yes, sir.
But China has grown, has shown steady path of growth for few decades, whereas we have been very slow in progressing. That is why we are 3 trillion, they are 20 trillion or something like that. What can be the reasons? What is the lesson we should learn from China?
Sir, one of the reasons I believe, sir, was gradual transition to industrialization at a small scale. Sir, from agriculture, they transitioned to industrialization on relatively smaller scale with setting up village clusters of industries. Sir, additionally, the governance structure in China, sir, it allows for widespread changes, which is, sir, relatively difficult to generate consensus in India.
See, the FDI, they have attracted a lot of FDIs.
Yes,
We, being a democratic country, actually, we should have been better placed to attract FDI than a very closed country like China.
Right, sir.
Why they have attracted, the foreign companies have gone there and invested, not in India.
Sir, one of the reasons is they offer better logistics costs, and additionally, sir, the compliance costs for the companies in terms of salaries and labor laws in China. Sir, it is relatively less costly for companies to set up their operations in China when as compared to India.
What do you think of ease of doing business?
Sir, ease of doing business, there is a indicator which can help multinational companies to determine where to set up their businesses, how the business environment in a country is. And sir, India has been steadily progressing on this indicator.
What are the main things in ease of doing? What are the parameters? How they determine the rankings?
Sir, the parameters are determined by the time it takes to grant permissions for various, so to grant various permissions. So that is the primary determinant of the India index.
Okay, thank you.
How are you, Prateek?
I'm doing good.
Comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. So you were talking about this East Kidwai Nagar. There is a ASI protected monument there. Do you know the name?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Darya Khan tomb.
Okay. There are other monuments in and around that area. Can you name a few more?
I'm not aware of the names, but I have seen these monuments.
Okay. Have you heard that once a few months back, the government declared that some ASI monuments had disappeared?
Yes.
Did you follow that story?
Yes.
What is it?
12 monuments were marked.
12?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If I can recall correctly, it was around 12 monuments were marked as missing.
How can a
And that-
monument go missing?
ASI, it does not have any record regarding that monument, and it might have gone missing in terms of development of the land, encroachment, etc.
Okay. Have you heard of a term called checkbook diplomacy?
Ma'am, I have heard, but I cannot recall it.
Okay. Have you heard of BRI?
Yes, sir.
What is BRI?
Sir, ma'am, it is the Belt and Road Initiative, which is China, the government of China, its expansion in the logistics and transportation sector primarily.
So, India has not joined the BRI. Do you know the reasons why India has not joined BRI?
One of the reasons is that China is very restrictive on its conditions for joining the BRI, and the process and whatever happens in the BRI, it is very opaque. there are allegations that China indulges in debt trap diplomacy through this. That is one of the.
Any example of debt trap diplomacy in our neighborhood?
I mean, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and also Pakistan, it has been observed.
Any specific project in Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, wherever?
I cannot recall it.
Okay. Now tell me, the government gives a lot of importance to the Northeast.
Yes, ma'am.
Northeast is also important for a few foreign policy initiatives of India. Can you give some sort of an explanation, analysis, whatever you know about that?
Look East and Act East has been a recent push of the government of India in its foreign policy sphere. The government seeks to generate greater cooperation with the ASEAN countries as well as our neighborhood in Myanmar and Thailand. In this, the role of Northeast takes a very key. The role of Northeast becomes very crucial since it is the gateway to Myanmar, Thailand, and countries like that. Multimodal transport initiatives have been started, and there are also presence of insurgency groups in Myanmar which affect our internal security situation in the Northeast.
But has the internal security situation improved or is it the same in Northeast?
It has improved.
How? Has diplomacy got anything to do with it?
Diplomacy with Myanmar has played a role in this. The Myanmar government and the army, they have taken steps to control the presence and mushrooming of separatist camps in their territory, and our army has also conducted joint operations with their army and police.
What about Bangladesh? Ulfa was in Bangladesh, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So they have played a role in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you heard of a man called Amritpal Singh? He's been in the news recently.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is he?
Amritpal Singh has recently come into the limelight in light of the Ajnala incident. He heads the Waris Punjab Day group in Punjab, and he advocates for formation of a Khalistan state.
Name 2 foreign countries where Khalistanis are active.
Australia and Canada.
Okay. Should government be worried about Amritpal Singh?
There is certainly cause for concern. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
ये बताइए, do spaceships have a cockpit?
Sir, those which are manned, they do have cockpit.
What is that called?
The crew module.
Called the nose.
Right.
Why do we hear a sonic boom?
Sir, a sonic boom is heard when an object breaches the Mach number, the velocity of the object.
Why should we hear the sound then?
Sir, it is because of compression effects that take place at that velocity. The air is compressed and basically it is compression effects at that velocity.
Why should the sound come?
So
Suppose the plane is flying at Mach 1.
Yes, sir.
And another one is flying at Mach 2, the modern fighter jets.
Yes, sir.
Will there be a difference in the sound?
Sir, just when it breaches Mach 1, sir, there will be a sonic boom. And sir, from Mach 1 to Mach 2, sir, there can be an increase in noise, but the type of sound would be the same.
Okay, good at it. Why was the Concorde plane scrapped? You know about the Concorde?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm aware, sir, it was a supersonic passenger aircraft, and sir, it was scrapped because of a very high cost and the risk associated with the aeroplane. Sir, there was considerable risk that can crash, and if I remember correctly, one of the Concorde did crash.
That was without any loss of life. Anyway, why is Elon Musk toying with this idea of SpaceX and colonizing the Mars? You think there is any sense in this?
Sir, there are certainly arguments in favor of colonization of Mars. Sir, we are undertaking expeditions to Mars to research as well as, sir, explore the possibility of colonization in the possible case where humanity faces an extinction in the future. Sir, in that context, it does hold some water.
You want to say first we spoil our planet and then you find another place and spoil another planet.
Sir, it is in case of any future untoward incidents that we cannot avoid.
What should be the policy? Who should be allowed to settle on Mars then? In case we succeed in conquering.
Yes, sir. Sir, ideally the aim should be for maximum people as possible, and realistically,
Do you think Elon Musk will carry poor people from Africa or Congo there?
it is unlikely.
Okay. Why did the space shuttle crash? Which killed our astronaut also.
Sir, there was an issue with the O-rings, and so there were two space shuttle crashes. Sir, in one of the crashes, sir, there was an issue with the launch of the shuttle. There was so the elastic O-rings, sir, they were defective. And sir, the other case, sir, a foam object while launching, sir, it had crashed into the lander vehicle, into the space shuttle, and it had compromised the integrity of the heat shields.
It was while re-entry.
Yes, sir.
What is Jan Vishwas Bill? Have you heard of it?
Sir, I cannot recollect that.
What do you know about Ayushman Bharat scheme?
The Ayushman Bharat scheme is an health insurance scheme which covers around 40 crores of the population.
Who is eligible?
Sir, I'm not aware of the eligibility.
Achha, okay. Which are the key digital initiatives of Government of India which have been very successful and which the world is also, appreciating in the past 2-3 years?
Sir, one is the vaccination platform, CoWIN.
Okay.
Then there is the National Data Analytics Platform, sir, which has recently been started. Sir, additionally, sir, eShram portal for
Name something bigger, like you said, the first one, COVID.
sir, DigiLocker initiative of the government.
And UPI and Aadhaar.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Prateek, that brings us to the end of our formal interaction. We will now proceed to give you the feedback
Right, sir.
and also some practical tips. When is your interview?
Sir, I don't have the date yet.
Oh, so you have plenty of time. But don't waste this time. Don't relax
Yes,
too
sir.
much. Huh? This is a very good opportunity to make the best use. You've given the interview previously.
Yes, sir.
How much did you get?
Sir, 151.
How have you done your mains this time?
Sir, personally, I did not think it was very good, and I wasn't even expecting to clear the mains.
Okay, so now you should aim to get at least 30 marks over and above what you got. At
Yes, sir.
least,
Yes, sir.
right? And you have the ability to do that.
Yes.
Okay. You already are aware of the kind of experience which you've gone through this. By the way, how much did you miss out on in terms of the marks, number of marks needed?
Sir, 50 marks, around 50 marks.
Okay. So to that extent, you're already well prepared from that angle. You know what is the trajectory of the interview broadly. You'll be getting questions. Your specialization is so unique
Yes,
that
sir.
it draws a lot of questions by itself. And you saw how in this board also there are so many questions on that. In your previous interview also, did you get a lot of questions?
So there were a few questions. Yes.
Okay. Now, you see, what you should do is take some 80 or 90 of these A4 size sheets. Think of the possible questions which can come dash your job, dash current events, subject, mainly from these. Then for each topic, you have to make a question bank, maybe 200 to 300 questions. And on each topic, do a deep dive. You see, what I'm finding is that there are two levels of questions. One is the first level, which you clear very easily, and there's the second one, which looks for depth,
Yes,
and that is the one where you flounder.
yes, sir.
So please pay attention to how I'm structuring your answers now. Once you've got the question bank done for each topic, after you've done the deep dive, make 5 or 6 bullet points, and these should be in order of importance. Once you've got them done, then use them as an aid to memory. Don't memorize. No one wants a parrot sitting there.
Yes, sir.
So make it part of your thinking process. Think about them, analyze them, then sit in front of a mirror and practice, practice, practice. If this is the question, this is how I'll respond. Hmm? Similarly, or you can ask a relative, they can videotape your answers and play them back to you so that you get an answer.
Right.
See, this was happening all too often. PTGs and PVTGs, you got it right the first time,
Yes, sir.
the difference, but when I asked you for the characteristics, you were not able to recall. Ayushman Bharat, who is eligible, you were not able to recall. It's not a test of knowledge, it is a test of your personality, right?
Yes, sir.
But then there is also an organic link. The assessment of your personality can only come when there is a full dialogue.
Yes, sir.
But here, if you stumble at the very first, after the very first hurdle, you are unable to, then that dialogue doesn't take place.
Right.
So that is the organic link. And once you get into this habit of making those bullet points and remembering them, then your self confidence will improve. Your poise, won't get flustered,
Yes.
and also your conceptual clarity and ability to lucidly answer. All that will improve. Now you're sitting in a very relaxed posture, but throughout the interview, your hands were jammed onto your thighs. Why so?
So it just came naturally by chance.
It normally comes by way of internet, YouTube, coaching. So that gives a very forced look. It gives a very strained look. This is a much better pose. I would urge you to be as natural as possible.
Right.
You have to leverage your strength. There are so many positives which you bring to the table. You have a very good personality. You're easy to talk to. Your knowledge base is reasonably good. So all you need to do is to go in for that depth. And once you do that, you'll do very well indeed. Best of luck. I'm sure we'll see your name in the list.
Thank you.
Go there with a clear mind and a positive attitude.
Right.
Think to yourself, I have everything to ace this interview, and you will ace it.
Yes.
Best of luck. Any
Thank you.
questions from your side?
No, sir. No
Anyone
question
would
asked.
like to add something?
Just one point. And your argument regarding why you want to do the civil service is a very, very poor one.
Right.
You have to do much better.
Yes.
You can't say that aerospace was my hobby, so I joined. Then I did certain projects, I didn't enjoy them. Then I thought of civil services. I thought that would be a career.
Right.
Okay, I took aerospace fine. And meanwhile, I decided to go for civil service, which I find far more fulfilling and diversified. Definitely, somebody asked, how do you use your knowledge of rocket science?
Right.
That's right. I may not be able to directly use it, but various scientific principles of organizing my mind, etc., which I have not, I put them.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe I get posted to relevant department,
Yes.
whether civil aviation or aerospace. See that, but don't come up with sudden episodes where you think of them.
Yes.
We all know. And don't
Yes,
talk
sir.
about patriotism and they.
You can talk that your father was a civil servant.
Yes, sir.
So you can talk about that in home. I got the inspiration. I
Sir,
thought that is
previously I had received a feedback that do not bring your father's profession into it.
You grow up with your father, you see his life,
नहीं चलता जी
you get interest in that also.
अपने अपने
नहीं, एक बात ये भी बोल सकते
अपना
हैं,
ही लॉजिक देना
सिविल
पड़ेगा
सर्वेंट की फैमिली से है तो
कितनों के बच्चे बन रहे हैं
I just felt you were very uncomfortable. Were you uncomfortable?
I'm not
Your
exactly.
delivery was very
Yes.
strained. Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it heat or what? Or you're just
I'm just
nervous?
nervousness.
That's what sir said. No, you have to get over that. Just fight that. Hmm?
And you said, I want to go to the civil service, go for the civil services because of diversity. That gives an impression that it's an individual reason. The first thing should be public service, no?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
That's what should be impelling you.
Yes, sir.
Diversity is for your own personal growth.
So I need to articulate it better.
You need Doesn't matter. You don't get anxious, don't get demoralized or anything. This time, go with the self-confidence. You've been there, done that.
Yes.
This time you'll do much better, and you'll crack it. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.